You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. It is Melinda from Soap Dirt. I have got your Days of Our Lives promo for next week, July 10th through 14th, 2023. There are 8 huge scenes for front burner storylines. We are going to share with you what you're going to see in the promo. We're going to break it down, tying it back to the official spoilers for Days of Our Lives for next week, so you can get an idea of what day you will see each thing happen. That way you won't take it out of context. And then finally, we are going to show you the official NBC Peacock promo for Days next week. If you haven't already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives spoilers, promos, predictions, news, and more. All right, let's dig in. The very first scene is Wendy Shin, and she's talking to Johnny DiMera and Tripp Johnson. The guys are smiling, and they're arm in arm. They have their arms around each other while they're facing her. She's standing looking at them and says, "It's time for me to finally make a choice." So that is going to go down on Wednesday, July 12th. The official spoilers are that Wendy decides if it's Tripp or Johnny that she wants. Spoiler alert, I'm saying this, but obviously you're listening to spoilers, so you want to know. She chooses Tripp because the following week on Thursday, July 20th, Johnny tells Rafe Hernandez that he got dumped by Wendy. So she's going to go with the doctor, and good for her. And of course, Johnny's going to circle back around to talk to Chanel, which of course is interesting. Meanwhile, the second scene is actually a sub scene of this one, with Johnny saying to Tripp, "I just hope like hell she chooses me." That's Wednesday, July 12th. And his hoping did not do him any good because he doesn't get picked. You know that saying, if you hope in one hand and you poop in another, guess which one's going to get filled up first? All right, so Johnny's got a handful of poop by Wednesday. The third scene is DA Melinda Trask talking to top cop Rafe Hernandez, with Shawn Brady sitting at a desk nearby looking very annoyed. Trask says, "You need to fire Detective Brady over there." And then there's a little flashback of him drinking at the docks. Then the next scene is Rafe chewing out Shawn, saying, "You were drinking on the job." And then Shawn turns around and claps back and says, "You have been sleeping with your subordinate." And then there's this Rafe shock face like, "Oh, people know." All right, so these scenes happen like Tuesday, July 11th and Wednesday, July 12th, because the official spoiler for Tuesday is that DA Trask sees Shawn Brady drunk at work, and Wednesday the 12th is Shawn circles the drain. So Shawn is unapologetic about his drinking at this point. Of course, he is eaten up with guilt over shooting his dad, Bo Brady, who had just finally come back to them. You know, he has been in this coma-like situation unbeknownst to them for more than a decade, I think. And then he's back in a coma, and Shawn blames himself, even though everybody says it's not your fault. But Trask definitely isn't happy that he's boozing on the job. And we know Trask is the queen of vendettas. She loves to target and fire people. And Shawn has drawn a huge alcoholic target on himself. He is going to be suspended, by the way. Spoiler alert, Rafe refuses to fire him, but he does put him on leave, and that just gives Shawn more time to drink, I think, and spiral. He needs a little session at Bayview to dry out and maybe talk to Marlena about what's going on. But so far, that's not happening. The fifth scene is Dimitri von Leuschner kissing little Leo Stark. And remember, this kiss started on Friday, July 7th. So I feel like this scene, even though there's not an official spoiler, it has to come on Monday, July 10th, just for continuity's sake, because they're going to replay him kissing him. Leo actually looks shocked, and then he slaps his face, and Dimitri says, "Ow." I personally think that after he slaps him, that they're going to heat up. I think they are going to do the deed. So Leo knows that Dimitri needs to marry Gwen ASAP by his 40th birthday, which he is now convinced Gwen to do. And Leo was digging over at the house, and of course he found the very obvious paperwork that spelled everything out. Isn't that convenient? Because villains usually leave their, documents laying out their roadmaps of their evil plans. So There is a spoiler for the following week about Leo going back to where he and Gwen lived together, that hotel, and with a guilty conscience. So why would he have a guilty conscience unless things went further? So I think they're going to write Dimitri as fluid, as bi, because he definitely seems to enjoy sex with Gwen. And now it looks like he might be enjoying some sex with Leo, trying to keep him quiet. And maybe there's a genuine attraction. And we know Leo thinks he's very hot. So I'm kind of interested in this and whether they're going to go into a full throuple thing or if this is just going to be, some making out. We'll wait and see. But Leo, had a crush on Xander for a long time. And Dimitri, DVL as he calls him, is, similarly sexy, a little less hairy, a little less scary. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's just as scary, but he's his type. He's tall, dark, handsome, and bad. So I don't think Leo will be able to hold out even after he slaps him. Look for this on Monday, July 10th. The sixth scene is Gwen Rizczech walking into the office at The Spectator, and she finds shirtless Xander and half-dressed Chloe humping at the office, and that's going to be a little awkward. She's going to gasp. That is Monday, July 10th that it happens. The official spoiler is that Xander and Chloe are interrupted while doing the deed, and it is Gwen, and they're going to have to button back up, and then Gwen is going to share her engagement news because by later in the week, Xander is going to say some things to her about this. He is not very happy that she's engaged, not because he wants her back, but because he thinks that Dimitri is sketchy, and he's right. So the next scene, Abe Carver has been drugged by Crazy Whitley, and in this scene in the promo, it's fun. It's more body and soul stuff. If you love this soap into soap, it's happening again. Abe is hallucinating that he and Paulina are characters on Body and Soul, and the two of them have a scene with Cassandra and Lorna. Cassandra, of course, is Mary Beth Evans, who plays Kayla, and Lorna is Kate Roberts, Lauren Koslow. So Abe says to Paulina, "You and I, we have a daughter." And Paulina gasps. So I hope that we get to find out what soapy fun names they have. If you haven't already seen it, over in our Days of Our Lives playlist, we did a breakdown of the end credit showing on Body and Soul, because the names they used are actually characters that people on Days have played on other soaps. And we broke it all down. We did the research and looked into it. It's fun. So Abe is hallucinating on Friday, July 14th. So look for more Body and Soul action then. The final scene is Jerry Prentice, remember, who's the actor pretending to be Theo. Jerry says to Lonnie, "Your father is alive." I believe that is also on Friday, July 14th, because Lonnie asks Jerry that day what he wanted to say to Theo Carver. Remember, he was actually going to come clean to Theo when they were standing by Abe's memorial at the docks, but then they were interrupted. And so it looks like Jerry is definitely going to confirm this for Lonnie. But they both might wind up in trouble at the hands of Crazy Whitley King. All right, so that's all the breakdown, and we tied it back to the spoilers so you know what day to expect all this to happen. And now we are going to show you this hot official Days of Our Lives Peacock promo, and hang on to the very end of it to see Abe and Paulina as characters on Body and Soul, which is kind of my favorite part of this promo. Hey, if you haven't already, please click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives updates. And if you enjoyed this, please click us a like. And now, buckle up. Here is that Days of Our Lives official promo.
It's time for me to finally make a choice.
Your soap like hell, she chooses me.
You need a fire detective Brady over there.
You were drinking on the job.
And you have been sleeping with your subordinate.
Ow! You and I, we have a daughter.
Your father is alive.